Hi guys, I know it's a little bit early, but I'm leaving. I am going to go on my very first ever trip outside Metro Manila in more than 2 years. So I don't know if you guys know this, but uh, I haven't left Makati. Well, no, naman. I haven't left Metro Manila. I haven't left Metro Manila in over 2 years. Wait, let me boost my. Let me make my face bigger. There we go. So if you can see in the back, it's my suitcases. Ah, uh, actually, and guys, I Hardware Sugar is actually two. It's actually two brothers, myself and Anton. So we're not closing down the shop, okay? I'm literally just saying that I'm leaving the Philippines for a while. Like I'm talking about like maybe 2 months. So it'll be a very long vacation for me. However, an interesting thing that I want to point out is that I'll actually be producing content while I'm abroad, which will be the first time for me. So why I wanted to make this stream is sort of like it's more for me. It's for me to talk about the fact that I've been in this house for like 2 years. I would of course go to the hardware sugar store to help out when, especially during the time during the start of the pandemic when none of our employees could come in. So today is actually very monumental for me. Like this is a very big thing that I'm actually going to get on a plane for the first time in more than 2 years. It's going to be my first time to get outside of Metro Manila for 2 years. To be honest, I am medyo takot ako. I mean, it's the chances of getting COVID Omicron is so high here that it's all gonna be like a small miracle that I don't get COVID when I arrive. So my first destination is New York. So I'll be flying via PAL, and I wanna say first to I think PAL deserves a like a great job. Like can I just say that my experience with PAL with respect to flights has been spectacular. Because usually we all hate PAL, we all hate Cebu Pacific and stuff like that. But grabe, yung customer service ng PAL during the pandemic, at least this past 2 months, has been absolutely stellar. Actually, I don't even know why I'm wearing this headset. I'm not even playing. It's absolutely stellar. Number one, I booked a ticket for Cebu to meet with some of my family members there last December for Christmas, but then we had to cancel because of the really horrible storm that wrecked through Cebu. And pal, I refunded my ticket like just like that. The whole amount was given complete credit. So thank you, pal. Like Hardware Sugar, we really care about very good. We care about good customer service, and I really want to point out when other local businesses also do provide great customer service. So if ever you buy a ticket from PAL, you don't need to worry so much about rebooking costs or forfeiting. So like just briefly lang naman, I bought a ticket for Cebu last December. I couldn't use it, so I went to the PAL office sa Ayala. They gave me a travel voucher for the full credit. So if I paid 15,000 pesos for my airline ticket to Cebu, it was also 15,000 pesos voucher. And then I decided, you know what? I'm done. Like I want to see my family. My family has been in the States for maybe around 6 months because they are there to help take care of my niece. So I've actually been alone in this house for maybe close to 5 months. I know like lots of people have a lot of other problems to worry about, and my problem is just like living alone. But 2 years of not being able to hang out with your friends in a normal way, 5 months being alone in the house. I don't know, man. Like, it kind of gets to you. So I decided 2 weeks ago na I'm fed up. Like, I'm getting on a plane and I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna get out of here for a while. And one thing that I really want to, one thing I really want to share is my epiphany. It's really ridiculous, okay? I have a great room. Like during the pandemic, our house was being built, and so this house was a construction site, and so it wasn't really finished. So I spent the 2 years of my time helping Anton build Hardware Sugar, our store, as well as our YouTube channel. But also, I decorated my room. I fixed everything that was wrong with the house. I got a new table. I got a new monitor. I have a new microphone. Like everything. I learned so many things during COVID that it's so scary that I'm actually going to leave this house for the first time with those skills in mind. Like it's a very surreal feeling. And one very important realization I had was all this all this stuff, okay? All this stuff doesn't really matter for an extended period of time. I know that we are retail, Hardware Sugar is there to sell you the best video card and also the well-priced goods, and we're supposed to provide you the best computers. But me, as one of the owners of Hardware Sugar, who runs and is supposed to sell you stuff, I can tell you right now that if you don't have, if you're not around family or friends for more than 2 years, shit, this stuff doesn't matter. I mean, I'm thankful that I can afford to get this. I'm thankful that I have a great looking desk, which by the way, I made two videos about my desk setup. Like I bought Philips Hue lights, like I bought a stream deck, like many of these things I bought so that ma-preoccupy ako. So I wouldn't need to worry about the fact na socially I'm not growing. Like I'm not going out with my friends. The sad thing is that I have a lot of friends because I had to go to different schools. So I had a different grade school, I had a different high school, I had a different college, and then I went to law school. So I have like 4 barcadas. And I have a core group in all of them. But to be honest, I couldn't see them for 2 years. And it was also my choice. Like, it is the smart thing to do during COVID not to be a dumbass. Okay? Kasi I lived with my parents for most of the COVID period until at least 5 months ago. And so yung priority ko, especially since senior citizen sila, is my priority was to make sure that I don't carry COVID to them. In fact nga, medyo stricto ako sa bahay. Sinabi ko sa kanila na bawal sila akong lumabas. As in, pinagalitin ko nga sila na bakit ka lang malabas? Kung kailangan ka ng supermarket, ako na lang. Like before, we didn't even know how to order stuff online. Ngayon, lahat online. But ako yung sacrificial lamb na pupunta doon sa supermarket and then like, I'd bring suitcases to the supermarket so that I would load up groceries good for 1 month. Kasi, totoo lang, natatakot din ako to be outside. This was like early on pandemic. And so, I grew to really fear COVID, even though fully vaccinated naman ako. Alam mo naman, yung Omicron, walang pake kung kung naka-booster ka or fully vaccinated. The important thing is that you get the vaccine so that you don't get too sick. But you don't know it. You don't know who you can pass it to, and you might kill someone. So that's my fear. And one of the mental problems I was dealing with was the fact na parang unfair ng buhay, no? Like, it's unfair in the sense na here I am trying to be responsible for 2 years na I'm not gonna go out meet my friends even though they invite me. I'm not gonna go out drinking with my friends even though they invite me. I'm not going to go to family occasions even though I'm invited. Because in my mind, I'm like, the smart thing to do is not to expose myself so that I don't expose the people I love. But there's a saying that I grew up with. If you follow all the rules, you miss out on all the fun. And there's a lot of wisdom there, which is that if you just keep kasi I guess there's a thrill in being rebellious. But at this point, parang it's not even rebellious. Now it's more about like mental survival. The difference between Anton and me, Anton is my older brother who I Hi Maverick Joseph. Hi Reverend John. Yeah. I'm not gonna be gone for too long. Just 2 months naman. In fact, nga, I'll be working on the. I'll be making videos for Hardware Sugar. I just made a dramatic title naman na I'm leaving the Philippines, which is kind of true. But yun nga, I mean, I made it dramatic because this for me is dramatic. Like, I don't know. Like, all my friends who I know of have left Metro Manila at least to go somewhere. Like they went to Batangas or they went to Tagaytay. I haven't gone to Tagaytay. I haven't gone to Batangas. I haven't. I literally the furthest I ever got was maybe Alabang, and then I went back. So this for me on a personal level is very big. And I'm also excited because I finally get to travel again. But medyo extremes eh. Like from not going anywhere to going to New York and then hopefully to Singapore. Medyo it's a bit of a mentally it's really taxing for me personally. In fact, my flight is at 8 p.m. tonight, and so that's why I figured na I would stream now. Actually, I'm still in my pambahay. I'm going to dress up. I have some serious COVID gear. Wait, let me show you my bag. So I have a fanny pack. This is what I'm gonna be wearing around my body later this afternoon when I go to the airport. In the first pocket. Oh, by the way, to Ken's Cast, thank you for lending me your Uniqlo bag because this is gonna be super helpful. So I have stuff. I have what do you call that? These wipes. This is what I'm gonna use to wipe down like my glasses with alcohol. So I have alcohol and I marked it alcohol. I have 4 bottles of alcohol. I hope they allow that. And then I have 7K95 masks here. And I have tissue so that I can wipe down the seat. The seat on the plane. And then I have several mask tighteners. So I have no idea if I'm just literally natakot ako talaga to be honest kasi I'm just going to assume that like 80% of the people at the airport have COVID and that they're spreading it. So parang it's a weird feeling knowing that you're going to go in like I'm volunteering myself to go into an oven so that in the end I'll be able to stay in a better oven because New York isn't actually the safest of the safest either. so so it's crazy. Like I'm going to go from one hotbed Manila to New York, which is also a hotbed. But mind you, I think I think we can all agree here naman na Metro Manila is a lot worse off right now than New York. But I just need to survive. It's a 15-hour and a half flight. And to be honest, I don't like flying even though I'm sort of I travel a lot, but I never like flying. I don't like turbulence. So I have to now deal with the anxiety of, turbulence and COVID. And then like, how am I supposed to eat? Like, how does this work? It's Casey Boyos. Hello. Sir Anton will live in your house? I don't know. I guess he might. Kasi what do you call that? My pool. He might enjoy. He's invited. He's invited anytime naman. But we have, and then I have what do you call that? I have people watching over the house naman.
Powering off.
Hey David Go. If more than that, it should be checked in. I learned that the hard way from Singapore. 100 ml. Let me check nga what 100 ml looks like. Kasi I think I brought more too much. Kasi what do you call that? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's easy to say, yeah, I'm ready. And then after that, you're just over preparing, and I'm like, it's like anything. It's like this whole thing for me. It feels like it's like going on your first date with the crush that you like. Now you're always thinking, I'm preparing. Do I have enough? Am I ready? Do I have all the paperwork? Kasi grabe. The paperwork talaga, man. The PCR testing and stuff. Pet Gemina, random question. Do you practice law? Yes, I do. Over during the pandemic, lots of people kept asking me for law questions, law advice. I charge very minimal. But no, I don't go to court and stuff because I don't want to get COVID. So, thank you, Patrick Timtiman. Yeah, thank you for noticing my gupit inter. Holy shit, si Kakarot. Hello, my lolo came from the States and he works for Nvidia. He gave me a GTX 1660 Ti and a RTX 3070. Sana all. Wow. Holy shit. And your lolo? Man, your lolo works at Nvidia? Wow, good for him. Jeez. I'm Maverick Joseph. No, I cannot reconsider because I'm not going to New York for the fun of it. I'm going there because my family is there. My parents, my sister, and my niece. I want to see my niece. I haven't met my niece yet. She was born. I have two nieces, one from Anton and one from my older sister. They were born during COVID, so I haven't met them yet. It's already going to go 2 years. I'm going crazy. I already met one. I want to meet the other one. So this New York trip isn't sightseeing. For me, it's family and to be able to socialize again. And Jesus, I'm sorry, but I'm also fed up then just staying here. And I'm curious what the situation is like over there. Like I just want to be able to see, I want to be able to I like working out now, so I want to like run without having to wear a mask, okay? Because I know you can work out there without having to wear a mask, and that talaga, that's great. Of course, it's gonna be cold. Kakarot, he's been working there ever since he went to the States in the 90s. Wow. Kakarot, maybe I'd love to interview your lolo. If you could drop us an email, if he would be interested in us interviewing him, we would really love to interview someone like that, especially Pinoy power. Oh, hey Nicholas, you had the same feeling, and I had one family break at NYC. It was the best break for a while. Yeah, you know what? Shit. I think I want to do this because I think I need to rejuvenate because, in order to create videos, I make a script and then I shoot the videos and then after that I edit it. There's a lot of creative processes goes in there. But then mentally, if I'm like, if I'm burdened by other things, masasuffer din yung content eh. And yun, the difference between Anton and I is at least, Anton's married and he has a wife, he has a kid. He has family. He's already made his family there. Me, I'm still what do you call it? I'm unmarried, and then I used to live with my parents, but then my parents are there taking care of my niece. So medyo it's time. And I guess one of the reasons why I wanted to make this stream is because I also wanted to let our viewers know that even though we sell all this hardware and we're telling you to buy hardware, please also don't forget to call a friend. Don't forget to schedule an invite to hang out with somebody in person. I don't like Zoom calls anymore. I'm tired of WhatsApp video calls. I'm tired of FaceTime videos. I have an M1 iPad Pro which I bought. I have the S21 Ultra. I have an RTX 2080 Ti. Lots of people would be like, why would you get bored if you have the best gear? And to be honest, I tell myself that also. I'm like, you know what, Rafael, I'm talking to myself, you don't have the right to be bored or sad because you have all the best gear. This is what everyone wants. And for a time, that is true. I mean, like, these are really great distractions, but when it comes right down to it, the more important things in life are the ones that you don't need to pay for. And so, let's go. What do you call that? Take care of your mental health. Take care of relationships. Don't. I guess. Well, this is more from my mantra. Don't let COVID dictate things. And I guess I'm breaking the very rule that I promised I'd never break, which is don't take unnecessary risks during COVID. This is an illogical risk, okay? Getting on a plane now, going to NAIA by itself is stupid. Going on a 15-hour-and-a-half flight with Omicron here and Omicron there is stupid. This trip does not make any logical sense other than the fact that mentally I just want to get out now. And I think a lot of people like to talk about mental health. And to be honest, I was like itong languishing word, like kasi the New York Times released like this article about languishing and shit. Like maybe like a year ago, and everyone was like, "Oh, I'm languishing." And so to be honest, hindi ako nagla-languish. Like for the most part of the pandemic, I slept like a baby. Okay, like slept like a baby for the most part. Hassle. I mean, there are a lot of problems sometimes that came up during Hardware Sugar. Like I mean, like we became popular because of the pandemic. So by the way, we're thankful for the pandemic that we got. What do you call it? YouTube noticed us, and all of you guys noticed us. Vladimir Ribas, when will I come back? The thing is, I have no idea. Like I have a return trip, but because of COVID, it's so fluid. Supposedly I'm supposed to be back in a month and a half. But if I get, sana naman hindi, but if I get COVID, then I would need to quarantine for 10 days. I need to cancel my flight. I don't know. It's a messy thing. So I really don't know. But, hey, Kakarot, my dad is a pilot. The airplane side is filtered and recirculated the whole time. You don't have to worry about contracting on an airplane. I watched, Inside Edition has a really good video on how the air is cleaned it's new air every 3 minutes, and then I have to use the little fan thing on the top. That one apparently gives out the best oxygen. However, the biggest concern on the plane is when you take out your mask to eat. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Parang sayang yung pagkain kung hindi ko kainin. Pero yung plano ko mamaya, maybe what I'll do is I'll just hide the food, and then after I'll be like, I'll check. Tapos na ba sila kumain? Sige, ako na. Yun ang plano ko. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it will work. Like, this is all theoretical. Maybe I'll just be like, putang na pa, let's go. Wala pang 5 minutes. I don't know. It's either that or I decide not to eat na lang. I don't know. It's a really fucked up situation. I mean, like, I just can't believe I have to think about these kinds of things. And to be honest, I have no idea what's waiting for me at what do you call that? At NAIA. Like, sobrang daming tao ba? I get anxiety thinking about what the hell's gonna go on over there. Like, is there a long line? Is there no social distancing? Now is not the time to get mad at people. That's in my mind. Because if you get mad at people, what do you call it? I'm breathing in more. Because my heart's pumping, and then the more I breathe in, the higher the chance that I get. Don't want to think about it so much. Is Anton going for family reunion? No, Ephraim. I'm going by myself. Anton will stay here. Anton is locked in. Anton is locked in what do you call it, in Metro Manila for the next 2 years easily. So don't worry. You'll still have his streams, which by the way, I'm not the guy who does the Bitcoin streams, but shit, grabbing Bitcoin has plummeted, like crazy plummeted. Like it's down 50% from its high last year. Grabe. Mine your GPU. Good idea. I was thinking about that also. And, hey, New York, burgers and, what do you call that? Falafels and shit. Yeah. So yeah, actually, you know what? Time to buy the dip. Oh, we know what you're using with your GPU. So my plan is I'll go to New York, and then maybe I'll head over to Washington DC. I have family in both places, and I'm familiar with both cities, so it won't be difficult to get around. However, I'm planning not to take the subway as much as possible because I don't know, it's crazy. I know the city, I know how to get around, but I don't want to take public transport. I'll probably walk everywhere, which is gonna kill me. But at least I'd rather my legs hurt than I get COVID. I'll be releasing a video on my journey. I know it's not really tech related, but it's fun. I'm gonna release a video on what's in my bag. I love watching YouTube videos about what's in my bag. You got cable management stuff inside the bag. This is the first time I'm bringing. Sorry, I didn't to the Hardware Sugar team. I'm bringing the mirrorless camera. I'm bringing the Fujifilm X-S10. Yes, where's my Oreos? I saw that. Somebody just got pushed off in front of the train. Yeah, and that person got convicted. I believe it might have been the victim might have been Filipina, I think. Besides, I know it was a woman. But yeah, I what was I saying? Uh, I'll still be joining. Oh, by the way, I'll still be joining the Pwede Magtanong stream. So next month, I think in February, see Anton will be the one hosting it, but I'll join in from my iPad. And how I'll be editing videos is actually interesting. This is my first time editing videos on an iPad. So apparently the M1, I bought the M1 iPad Pro precisely because I knew it is a editing machine. Like it can super no problem edit 4K or 1080p stuff. So I'm gonna learn how to video edit on an iPad. That's new, definitely. And I'm bringing actually all my B-roll in a hard drive. And I have no idea how this is gonna go out. Like I'm gonna learn how to Mark Santos new desk setup. I'll show you my desk setup there in New York. I mean, I won't be there for long. I'll be moving around like New York, DC, and then hopefully Singapore. And it'll be fun to see how it'll be fun to see how things are so different. You know, it's one thing to see on the news how people are acting in the other countries, like they don't wear masks and stuff, and it's another thing to be there. Again, I just want to highlight that I'm gonna be bringing a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna be documenting it. And mind you that the paperwork involved for going to New York and but most importantly, going to Singapore is extravagant. Like, I really honestly felt like I was studying for the bar examinations all over again. Like, the list of requirements and the restrictions are so lengthy that what I did was I read through every single word, and then I made a separate notes on the sides. I made a separate outline, just like how I used to back in the good old days when I was in law school. Okay, so this is what the law says. Let me reinterpret it so that in my mind I can better organize it. And so I have a very strict schedule to follow if I want to be able to go to Singapore from New York. There are specific flights that I can only take. There's a time frame that I must do it in. I need to apply for something within a specific amount of time. If I get COVID in Singapore, the Singapore government might pick me up from the hotel and bring me to a quarantine area, and then my whole hotel thing becomes forfeit. There is so much to worry about. Nevertheless, though, I still think that this is going to be worth it. Like, the whole adventure about it all, it really gets me, excited, to be honest. Ephraim Luza, I will actually make a video about the paperwork. It's crazy. The thing is that Singapore makes it very hard. They make it very hard for us to go there from the Philippines. You can only go to Singapore you can only get to Singapore if you are on a vaccine travel lane plane. And so I think they only have an agreement with 12 countries. Indonesia included, Malaysia I think also, and the United States, but we're not included there. So I need to stay, if I want to go to Singapore, I need to stay a minimum of 14 days in the States before I'm allowed to fly. So I'm spending like 20 nights in, in the States in order to qualify. But then even before that, I need to actually apply to go to Singapore when I'm there in the States. So there's still uncertainty. Like I'm not even sure if I'll be allowed to go. But you know what? None of this really makes very much logical sense. But all I care about right now is just getting out, getting on an adventure, and then hell, I'll be able to produce good content out of it because it is really something for me. And and by the way, just let me know also what you guys want. What you guys want us to, what if you have anything in preference you want us to take note of when we're there. Like, if you want us to go to a Best Buy to look up graphics card prices, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see what they have available. Maybe Anton will finally upgrade his computer. Maverick Joseph, got family in Singapore or just visit? No, just visiting. I always wanted to check out the Razer headquarters and other tech stuff in Singapore. There's a lot of equipment in Singapore, and parang I feel safer in Singapore as opposed to the States when it comes to COVID. Kasi, like, no offense them Americans, but I think us Asians we're stricter when it comes to mask wearing and stuff like that. Um, so so I'm also sad to see my dog go. Here, let me see if I can show you. Locked. Oh, you see there? You see that? See this? That's my dog's paw. Yeah, so Bagel will be alone for a month and a half with my kasambahay. But she used to be used to that. But this will be the first time in a very long time that we'll be separated from each other. So I feel bad for my dog. Is there a micro center in New York? I don't know. See, Anton is a big fan of micro center. I'll check it out. Why not just put up your hardware sugar branch in New York, Bennett? Ayoko. What do you call that? There's so much growth here in the Philippines. Why go over there, ba? Okay, let me check out the comments here. What do you call it? Vacation? Sorry, just got it. Jiro Alvarez. Yeah, it's a vacation. Maverick Joseph says, better go to NAIA like 3 hours before flight, check in, then go back outside or stay outside because based on my friend's experience, it's super dami tao, even night flights. Putang ina. Okay, Maverick, I got it. Actually, I'm gonna be there 4 hours beforehand. Pero, magaling yung idea na yan. Get out of the terminal. That makes sense. Actually, naka-check-in na ako. Okay, go to Kakarot. I'm sure PAL has protocols. If you're in economy, these are arranged 2-2-3-2-2, but they removed every other seat just to make sure. By the way, can I just say that one of the two, I want to say two things about PAL. Number one, they're very approachable when it comes to getting a refund and giving you a cash voucher for the full amount of the plane ticket in case you want to cancel your flight. And second, they are really, really, really cool about the fact that they PCR test. Like if you want to go to the States, you need to have a PCR test 24 hours before the flight. And that means not 24 hours. It means a day before. So if my flight's at 8 p.m. on Wednesday night, I can have a PCR test yesterday, Tuesday, anytime. So what I did was I went to the PAL PCR test center in Gate 3 at exactly 12:05 a.m. yesterday. So it was officially, I got it 1 day before. And I got the results in 5 hours. I was very impressed. It's really nice because this PAL PCR test center, they only test PAL employees and PAL passengers. So you don't need to worry about your test results talaga. Like you're prioritized. Like they put that up precisely so that you don't need to ever worry about missing your flight. And when I got there at 12:05 a.m., there was only one other car there getting tested. And I felt very safe. There was no one there. Sobrang laki ng parking lot. And it was cheap also. Like, I think the PCR test was only 2,300 pesos. By the way, yesterday was also my first ever PCR test ever in my life. Thank God, I've never had to actually have a PCR test because I've always been healthy throughout the whole COVID period. So it was also, yeah, I felt like yesterday was the beginning of my journey in a way. So guys, I don't have much else to say. I don't want to take up too much of your time because it is a Wednesday working afternoon. I have to go get ready for the plane. I just want to say thank you everyone for all your well wishes and the fact that I'm actually gonna go there with the idea of making content while I'm there, a skill I didn't have last time I traveled. So I feel like even though I'm traveling there again, I feel like I'm not the same person I was before. Like so much so now because now there's so many things that I can do now because of the skills that I learned. And well, it's going to be an interesting time and I'll let you know if I get there safely. And theoretically, I'll only know if I got COVID maybe 3 days after I arrive or 2 days after I arrive. So actually, the first 5 days, my family is imprisoning me in an Airbnb. So I'm not allowed to see the family. So it's like going from one cell to a smaller cell there. But I understand naman daw, what do you call that, na kailangan gawin. But yeah, this is my way of saying, don't avoid friend as much as possible. Try and find a way to socialize and don't use COVID all the time as an excuse not to. You will reach a point in time when hindi mo na rin kakayanin. So, please do yourself a favor. Don't let it get to that point. Brian, Kuwa, you're going to be like Dora then. Safe travels. Thanks, Brian. Si Brian Kuwa, you and I, we go back, way back. What do you call it? Law school days. And so, si Brian knows na, what do you call that? Like during school breaks, I would fly out to like Geneva or something, and then I'd come home with chocolate sometimes for my classmates. But yeah, this is the longest I've ever been not traveling, and this is also the longest time that I have been not leaving the city. Jesus. So anyway, I'll see you guys on the next Pwede Magtanong show, and don't worry, I'll be releasing more videos. Stay safe,